Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today I'm going to talk about the new stock that I've been buying, and this is a mobile stock. And actually you can class this as a gaming mobile stock. And yeah, I've got kind of big on like a lot of these gaming mobile companies and just gaming in general. Like I never owned any gaming stocks. And as soon as 2020's rolled around, I'm buying quite a few of them, and I just think that they've just got such a big massive user increase now because of COVID. Like they've just got so many more people to appeal to, and I think that will really help them in the long term. You know, the customers they're expecting to get in 2 years' time, they've got now, which will obviously help them massively. So yeah, I think that's probably why that's why I got into this company. Is like I saw it on a Seeking Alpha article, and I was like, let me have a look into this one, and I was just like, this is really good and it's really cheap as well. So yeah, I think this is a company that's going to benefit from this recent boom from the benefit of COVID, I guess, really. And yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to start buying this mobile gaming company, which is Glue Mobile. And as well as that, I've been, obviously buying Huya, which is a bit more of a streaming side of it. And I think that's like easy money now. Like Huya under $20 is easy money. So yeah, I mean, last time I used that was Tattoo Chef, and look what happened there. So yeah, Huya is crazy at the moment. Turtle Beach, obviously the new console cycle's helping that absolutely huge as well. And then obviously you've got the other one which was a SPAC stock, which was Skills, which I said was the most undervalued SPAC stock at the time. It's doing quite well, but even so, I think that Skills could be definitely a 10 bagger in the future. You know, it goes up 1,000%. There's a lot of potential in that one. But yeah, getting onto the new stock I bought, which is Glue Mobile. I think there's a lot of opportunity up here. We'll go through why I bought it, the research that I did, and where I see it going. But yeah, I've bought about 30% of the position that I want to buy in it right now. I'm trying to buy it under $9, so yeah, I'm kind of waiting for it to drop a little bit. If it could get under $9, I'll hopefully buy a bigger stake in it. And then if the stock drops under $8, which I ideally want to get it under, that's when I will be buying quite heavy. So yeah, those are my kind of price targets. I'll go through why I really like this company and my exit plan when I do come to sell this company in 2 to 5 years time. So we'll take a look into the company. If you do want to know when I'm buying and selling companies, make sure you join my patrons group. The link is in the description. I always post when I'm buying and selling companies like Glue Mobile. And if you do want to start buying shares in Glue Mobile, there is a link to a Trading 212 account and a free trade account. And if you join through the links in the description, you also get a free share, which is pretty amazing. But let's get stuck into Glue Mobile. So Glue Mobile, ticker symbol GLUU, trading about $9 right now. And yeah, like I say, if it can get under $9, I'd like to buy again. Under $8 would definitely be where I'll be very interested into this company. And yeah, we'll go through some of the fundamentals first, and then we'll go into some of the into the company a little bit afterwards. So yeah, Glue Mobile trading at about 1.6 billion market cap right now. Funny enough, this company is actually classed as being undervalued on Simple Wall Street, and I never see growth companies that are undervalued on Simple Wall Street. So I thought that was really interesting. And yeah, to be honest with you, their prediction of about $16 is near where I could see this company going. I would tend to say I could see it being more of a $20 company, but yeah, I'm not too far off Simple Wall Street on this one, which is kind of interesting. Now the P ratio does say it's 195, but it's in and out profitability. The profit will come a lot stronger this year, and that's where it gets interesting, because if you take out the current P and you actually put the forward P in, which I like to do with a lot of growth companies, and I like to get growth companies that have a forward P of like in the teens. And this is a 16 forward P, which is great. So yeah, that really stands out. A 16 forward P ratio is dirt cheap. I think whenever I see a growth company that's in a teen forward P, I'm like, that is dirt cheap for a company. And so that's really attractive from a valuation point of view. And even when you go on the price to sales ratio, when we look at the market cap to the revenue they're putting in, it looks really attractive from that point of view. So historically, this company's actually grown profit at a decent rate. Obviously, there's been a bit of a bigger jump because of COVID. But even after COVID, it's still going to be a company that grows, revenues at like a 10% rate, which is great. And, we look at what the company's done previously. They've done it previously, which is a great sign. They've got closer and closer to profitability. The profit should creep in a little bit more. They've started pulling out a few quarters of profit this year, and in 2021 that should continue, and that's why we get the drop in forward PE. And then they go to continue to do even more profit going forward. So that's really attractive from that point of view. We have a look at the balance sheet, and this was the next thing, is like the balance sheet on this company is insanely good. So yeah, I mean the debt level, there's no debt. no debt on it, so that's absolutely amazing. 390 million in equity, which is really good. We look at the cash balance, 318 million. So yeah, I mean, when you look at that, what is it, like a 1.6 billion market cap company, and they've pretty much got 318 million on the balance sheet in cash. It's crazy. I would say probably a bit too much cash. Like, they need to start using that cash up. The company is very healthy. Let's start putting that cash to use. And they actually go on. I'm not sure if I'll touch on it. I might do a little bit later on, but they are on about actually using this cash to go and buy some companies. I think there's a slide I've saved that will talk about this. But if I do miss it, I want to just speak about it now. They have talked about acquiring another company, which they have done previously and had very good success from it. So I think that's a really great positive to note down. But yeah, very healthy company with great growth. And I only noticed this the other day, so I'll just pop this in right now. The top shareholders in the company, obviously there's BlackRock, but what makes me really interested as well, just below it, is that you'll see Tencent hold a good holding in this company, and whatever Tencent like, I normally like. So that's a really good sign as well, to have them as a shareholder in the company. So yeah, very healthy from that point of view. And then we'll just go on to the recent Q3, which was amazing. I think it sent the stock up like 20% afterwards. But yeah, we'll get stuck into like some of the stuff that's actually to do with the company and some of the great points. So the Q3 20 highlights. So there's a lot of game titles here. You'll see that the growth that they had, obviously, like I said, it's a bit of COVID in here as well, but still very good. Continued investments in new games so they own a brand called CrowdStar and Glue Sports. And yeah, we'll talk about them a little bit later on. Those are the two main companies they're known for, putting games out. Obviously, talk about cash flow and everything like that. And then in Q3 we get a bit of a breakdown of some of the companies here. So yeah, they've got this home design, which basically design your home through an app. This Covent Fashion, which is basically like a trying on clothes, for example. And then TSB 20, which is a baseball game. Obviously that is always increased when a new baseball season comes around. But yeah, so obviously the design home had 15% year-over-year growth. That's one of the games that these guys operate. And then Covert Fashion, which grew, that was impressive with 30%. And they talk about the baseball games doing really well, even though the game was shortened down. And then you see that these are the two brands. So you got CrowdStar and Glue Sports, which they do to do games. And yeah, like the Glue Sports does focus on more like sporty games, as the name suggests. And CrowdStar, I would say, is probably more based towards females. So yeah, they cover a good market really. So this is one of the new games that are coming out, and this is a big thing that I don't generally want to make it a huge position, even though I do really like the company, just because it is a bit more of a smaller moat, and you're definitely relying on these new games being amazing. So that's something I'm just going to be very careful on. But this, obviously, we're kind of thinking like, obviously the games are doing really well, but like, what are the new games that they're bringing out? So one of the new games is this one, Table and Taste. They released the beta in, they're going to release it in 2021 Q1. So yeah, that's one of the new games that is coming out. And these are a few more games that they're bringing out in 2021. So like I said, Table and Taste that we covered earlier, CrowdStar Moments, and then it's got Deer Hunter World, Tap Sports Fishing, and also Tap Sports Baseball 2021. So these are some new games coming out, and obviously we know Tap Sports Baseball does really well, so that should do well. And hopefully these other games they bring out are very successful as well. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now, I have found the slide for the acquisition side of it. So you can see here, I told about on the earnings report, or the earnings call, should I say, sorry, they did make it very clear they are actively looking to buy out someone. And these are previous acquisitions that they've made, and you can see here like the purchase price and how much they've done lifetime bookings off the purchase price, and it's 27x off the purchase price. So the management team here are very, very good. I've researched in them. They've all been involved in very big companies, very successful in Glue Mobile as well, which is great. And you can see here, whatever they do buy, they tend to make it very successful. So yeah, we might get something in Q4 in January time about this, that they have bought someone. If not, we probably will hear about them buying someone in 2021 with that cash pile. So yeah, everything there is pretty healthy, and just thought I'd talk about how successful they have been buying companies. And obviously, if they buy a company as well, don't forget that revenue will it will help the revenue front as well. So yeah, let's not forget about that. And then we'll get a little bit of breakdown of the games. Obviously we talked about some of the new games, but you can see here the growth of games here. They've all been pretty good, especially the Kim Kardashian's Hollywood. Like that's gone up 100%. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's the game Cooking Dash that's gone down a little bit, and Dinner Dash that's gone down a little bit. But yeah, hopefully the growth in that sector will come back when they bring the new game out as well. And yeah, I mean, Disney Sorcerer's Arena is one of the new games, and you can see like the amount of growth that's starting to put in really. So that's pretty good from that point of view. And I also checked the game out, and it's got very high reviews as well, which is really positive. So yeah, overall, I really like this company. I think it's got a lot of potential with the new games that are coming out. I think the growth on it is really amazing. The valuation's really good. Growing sector, especially when you think about how much COVID's carried on, up in the growth in this kind of sector and the people that have come into it. So yeah, I think the games are good. It's a company with historically producing good games. I really like the management team on this one. And yeah, I mean, Glue Mobile, it's certainly not a stock that I see myself holding probably towards the 5-year end. It's definitely more of a 2 to 3 year hold for me. A little bit more of the shorter term, like Turtle Beach, for example. But nevertheless, I see a great company at cheap prices, and I really like that. And yeah, I think that I really do see myself making 100% return on this one in the next 2 to 3 years. And yeah, I really do think it's got a lot of potential. So yeah, definitely a company that's never going to be a major part of my portfolio. But when I'm looking at this company, I'm thinking it's got a lot of potential, especially this valuation. So yeah, I did start buying some shares in Glue Mobile. I think it will do very well over the next coming few months and years. And yeah, very happy to be buying this one. So I thought I'd share that one with you. Hopefully you found it useful. If you could, smash the like button. If you are new, subscribe. And I'll see you next video.